So now we got to put 2x6s here, here, and here on the front. We got 8 inches back, put them on the back, and then we're going to start running everything else in. So it should be pretty quick as far as putting everything else up. Alright, so now that we got those cross members cut, which shout out to my brother-in-law Clayton, thanks for the table saw, bro. That made it way easier. So we're going to grab my pocket hole saw and drill some pocket hole screws. We'll put those in between, so we'll have like a ladder, and then once that's installed, then we'll go ahead and do probably the back half, get that kind of squared away, and then we'll put our 80s in, and then all we have to do is basically measure over and put our 1x1s against the wall and then cut some slats. And that, my friends, is going along a lot quicker than I anticipated, which I'm not holding my breath now because I need to be able to breathe, but I'm pretty excited that it's going so swimmingly right now. So we're gonna grab things that we need, the screws, head on back out to the bus, head on back out, and start putting this bad boy together. And hopefully, I think I saw in my email that the mattresses should be here today, which will be good because you're supposed to let them kind of pop out and fluff up for like 24 hours or whatever, which will mean, depending on what time they get here, yeah, we should be able to have them set and ready to go by the time we actually have to use them. Not like cutting it close or anything, but hey, you know, everybody's life is busy and we're just doing the best we can to keep things rolling. So, keep right on trucking. Well, ladder 1 is done-ish. So we're gonna do our 80 across. I already got my other 75 that's back there. And then I gotta cut another upright for the back. We'll do that ladder, get the cross members going, and then we'll screw that all down and in. And then we gotta start on this side. But liking how it's coming along. It's not even screwed into anything yet. I need to pin that in there and then piece them down here. But it's pretty sturdy just as it is. Which makes me super happy because I don't want these things going anywhere, and the fact that like it's already gonna be it's gonna be a frame on its own that's really just using the wall a little bit to hold up one side, and the rest of it's just gonna be super sturdy. So I'm kind of building it out inside of here, and then once it's, you know, firm and in place by itself, then I'll start tacking it down to the floor, because I don't want to have the false assumption that it's nice and firm when in reality it's not. It's just not moving at the moment. And then so yeah, we got our 80 in here, and then we'll do the other 75 upright, and then the other, I think is 74 1/4 upright over there with a notch for the cables to go through. Well, the boss approved, and I think we're just gonna do this one side for this weekend, because then we can put the pack and play over here. But what I'm working on right now is I've got this strip of 1x1 coming through. We're gonna put slats, and I'm gonna drill another, or put another 1x1 over here and along here, so that we can get the slats set up. So I need to measure what we need for slats, and then actually I think all the way across this top here I'm going to put another 1x1, so that we've got something to hang the curtains and stuff that I didn't order yet to come in. I'll have to do that. And then actually the cool part is on this back post over here I'm going to drill a hole in the top corner of each of these for a light. I thought about putting it on the outside just because that's more consistent, but I also don't want it to be something that people are knocking their heads into a lot. So once I can get the base done, I can figure out where that light's going to go here, and then everybody will actually have a reading light in their bunk, which would be super sweet. So yeah, we'll cut the slats. I got to measure out individually what the slats are going to be for this top bunk and the bottom one, or the middle one. Once I measure those out, then I'm going to cut, I don't know how much, it's been a while since I bought the board, so I'll have to figure out how many slats I need for each one. But probably what I'll do is I'll just cut a bunch since I'm not doing the other side, and we'll figure out how many boards we actually have. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I may or may not have bought enough slats to be able to do the bottom bunk too, which I didn't need to do. So we'll cut all those up. I need to cut another 80 by 80 or two 80 1 by 1s, and then measure out where they go on the wall, and then screw those in. And then after those are in, then we start cutting and laying slats. This is the point in time where a laser level would be super helpful, because this floor kind of drops a little bit over here, so my measurements are not quite exact. And I really, what I'm thinking about doing is just grabbing or cutting the first slat and then basically putting it up here and then seeing whether or not it looks right, because I'd rather things lean in a little bit more as opposed to leaning out. So it either needs to be level or lean more towards the wall so people don't roll out. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure how wide the slat needs to be, and then the first one, and then after cutting that one, put it up here, figure out where that means that needs to be. I'm going to do that. Alright, so now I just gotta cut the slats for these two bunks, and then I'm gonna use just some short drywall screws to screw them in so they don't go anywhere. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do some pocket holes down at the very base of these 2x6s, which I'm gonna have to get creative on how I'm gonna do that. because my pocket hole saw jig only works when these things are out. And since I I might be able to slide it that way, but I'm pretty sure I won't be able to tilt it. If I can tilt it, then I can do this pocket holes real quick and we'll be set. So I might actually try doing that, pushing this out, flip it on its side, drill the pocket holes that I need to, and then that way I can screw it into the floor and then this thing won't move at all. And once this is attached, then hopefully, like everything with this wall, I need to put some more screws up here as far as making sure that this side wall that this is attached to is nice and firm. But what I was gonna do too, and I just kind of forgot that I had this in my brain, was I was gonna try to possibly put some extra 2x6 pieces here to marry this into the wall. But then I was also gonna do some 1x1 supports going down between here and there. And all those spots so that there's the weight of the actual bunk is going down to the floor and not just hanging off the wall. So other than that, I think we're pretty well set. Well, still need to cut some slats, but we packed this weekend chock full. So unfortunately, this is probably the last thing I'm gonna do on this today. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna jump back on it, cut the slats. The mattresses literally just showed up a couple of minutes ago, so we gotta unfold those, let them air out a little bit, and we're gonna be using 3 of them this weekend. So I might just leave the 4th one still in the box, just so it's easier to transport around until we do the other side. But I brought 4, hoping that we would have 2 and then we wouldn't use the bottom one necessarily on either side till I got a chance to kind of cut down some of the foam. But looks like we're gonna be using 3 on here. The kids are already fighting to see who's getting which bunk, so we'll figure out how that all gets divided up and figured out. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped with how they turned out thus far and just how things look. I still need to come in and secure everything before we leave tomorrow afternoon. The good thing is tomorrow morning I'll have a chance to kind of finish the slats, and then we're literally just going to screw everything down, make sure it's where it's supposed to be, and then we got to clean everything out and get ready to go. So there's a couple of things insulation wise I'm going to do, I think, on the back wall before we leave, just to get some insulation there and there so that there's no hot spots. I do actually have the there's a thing that goes over top of that bar kind of area, and I might just screw that up on there just so it's there, gets all the wires out of the way and we don't have to worry about it, and then pull it back down to where I can get to the wall and everything else later. All right, next morning, time to cut some slats. It is now uber crunch time because we are heading out to go camping. We can check in at 2 today. Place is about an hour from our house, which basically means that we just have to get there before, I think, 7 p.m. because that's when they start quiet hours or whatever. So cutting some slats, then we got to clean this entire mess up inside of here because yeah, we got
because you gotta put another bed right here, and look, if you put a bed right here, you're gonna lose all this stuff.
Yeah, yep. Here we go. All right, got the upper slats done. We also screwed down the base to the flooring, so the base isn't going anywhere. The slats are done. I need to figure out how to, I'm gonna secure this side to the wall. I mean, every single one of these slats is gonna be screwed in to the outside and then the inner side. I need to go get those screws, and then we're gonna pin that end up there over. But I just need to do the 30 1/4 slats for the bottom. So all these slats are spaced out about 1.5 inches apart. Down here towards where the feet are gonna be, this is, I believe, 5 inches, and then it goes 1.5 inches all the way through. Until we get here and it's 1.25 inches. So I ended up taking 12 slats to be able to get that. I think that's gonna be a good, I laid down on the mattress because I got a little bit shorter mattresses for this. Instead of doing with the 6-inch mattress, I went with something that was 4 inches, thinking that I wanted to have more space as far as headroom and stuff in here, because if I put a 6-inch mattress in here, it'd gotten real tight. So I think this slat system is gonna work out really, really well. If for some reason it doesn't work, the other option was we basically just go buy more thick plywood and lay it flat down. I'm not super keen on that because it adds a ton more weight. And actually this was suggested by a builder friend of ours. So Byron, thank you so much, man. We'll see how this works. I gotta go cut the mattress now to fit this top one. The middle one is gonna fit perfectly, and then the bottom one we're gonna leave the way it is right now, specifically so we can figure out what we want to do with the bottom. Plus Opal is like 3 foot, so she's not even gonna take up anywhere near where it is, because we have that wheel well that we gotta deal with down there. So I'm gonna eat dinner or lunch. Nope, other meal, breakfast. Breakfast is up right now. We're gonna go eat breakfast. Come out here, cut more slats, grab the screws, screw those all in, and we're so close to being done. And then I messaged a person, and we'll see whether they respond or not, but might be going and picking up a mini fridge for the bus, which is gonna go right there on this side of the bench, which would be super helpful, keep waters cold while we're out on tour. And for this weekend, my wife loves ice cream, and I would love nothing more than for her to be able to enjoy ice cream while sitting around a campfire camping. So we'll see if we can make that happen. But time for breakfast.
still working on the bus. He's trying to finish it today so he can go camping. And we have a big mess to clean up. But I think Dad doesn't really want to build another bed. I think he's just ready to go camping.
Yeah, we're not building the second bunk. We're just going to do this one so the pack and play and storage and stuff can be back over here. So, but
you're shaking the bus.
Perfect. That means it's sturdy.
Okay. This is the bed bus. We got two done. One we have to finish. I'm gonna try it. That looks like a pillow.
Alright.
So that's what we're doing.
All right, bunks, other than putting mattresses on them, are done. I gotta go and figure out if Abby is good for that. Because we're trying to get everything rolling to get it on the road, I'm just throwing in the back there to keep all the wires hidden from the kids. I gotta go and throw the other one up, and then there's a piece that goes up there that we're just gonna throw on, so at least that's all buttoned up and there's not a ton of wires hanging around for kids to try to eat. I'm gonna go inside, see if Abby's got the mattresses, the top one cut, and then we'll throw it up here and then start vacuuming and blowing everything out, getting the tools out of here, and then start packing up. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys down out on the road. See you soon.